Hey, before we get started with this week's edition of Library Picker, I want to highlight one very special book for you, the 2011 MICDS Middle School Yearbook. Here's a quick look at what the cover is going to look like. It's going to be a great hardcover book, and on the front is going to be a really cool photo mosaic of the front steps. And those are all our little pictures that make up that huge mosaic. If you'd like to get one, you need to order one sometime between now and April 15th. You can go to the middle school library website where there's a banner right here that you can click on, or you can visit bit.ly/MICDS-MS-Yearbook to order yours. If you do order one, you'll get it during the last week of school in May. Now let's take a look at a few books that are in the library. And we're going to start in the drama and comedy section today with a cool book called Stuck on Earth. Alright, so this one's about an alien race that decides that humans are not treating Earth very well, so they're going to exterminate the human race and take over the planet. To learn a little bit more about humans, one of them inhabits the body of a 14-year-old boy to learn more about humans. He has a lot of very interesting observations about high school, about friends and teachers and girlfriends, and he learns a little bit more than he wanted to learn about the human race. Pick that one up in our drama and comedy section. It's pretty funny. We're going to stay in the same section. We're going to go down to one of these bottom shelves and look at an author that I think you know, Maureen Johnson. Now, good authors write about interesting characters, but great authors are interesting characters themselves. Here's a look at what kind of character the author is. Wow, yeah, this video is called Evil Babies. But for those of you that really like her books, this is why. She's an interesting person herself. And this book, Sweet Scarlett, is about a really interesting family. Whenever the children turn 15, they're expected to take over a suite in this kind of once elegant hotel. And this is about one girl who turns 15 and gets her own suite. This book also has a sequel on the right. It's called Scarlet Fever. So if you like the first one, we've got the second one. Let's head over to our grab and go section real quick. We've got another Maureen Johnson book that a lot of you are really familiar with, 13 Little Blue Envelopes. I'm bringing this one up because I thought a lot of you might be interested that the sequel's coming out at the end of this month. If we go to the author's website, maureenjohnsonbooks.com, and scroll down, she's announcing that for a couple of weeks in the middle of April, you're going to be able to download a free copy of 13 Little Blue Envelopes onto your Nook or your Kindle or your other e-reader. So check back here next week or look on the library website. We'll provide a link for those of you that are interested. On the left in our grab and go section, we've got a book called Flash. This is about two brothers that try to rob a bank. It doesn't go so well, and they're trying not to get caught. The problem is there are a few witnesses, so a little bit of a psychological thriller there.
Oh my God.
Let's turn around and head to our action and suspense area because there's one on the bottom shelf here that I'd like you to take a look at this week, and it is called Virals. This is a great action-packed book by a great author. Here's a look at the intro to her website. Wow. So this is about a girl who has a bunch of friends. They're really interested in science, and they're kind of trying to figure out what's going on at this research institute nearby, and they get infected by some kind of virus that changes their DNA. Now, the main character in this book is the niece of this character on the TV show Bones, and this book is by the author who wrote the books that inspired this TV show series. So if you like this show, you might be interested in this book. Give it a try. And if you want another book that has to do with animals a little bit, let's head back into our reading room where we've got a lot of our nonfiction books. And we're going to find a book called Swimming with Piranhas at Feeding Time. Now, I don't know that much about piranhas, but I know that is probably not a good idea. Let's watch a little bit more about piranhas from the BBC.
Actually, piranhas aren't quite the bloodthirsty killers you might think. They're only dangerous if there's blood in the water, or if they get trapped somewhere without enough food. But if they're hungry and overcrowded, just a whiff of blood can spark a feeding frenzy.
Whoa. So this book is about a really interesting writer that travels all over the world to learn more about animals and tell you some things you might not know about them. It's pretty entertaining. One more thing I want to show you is, I know it's prize speaking season. You guys have already chosen or performed your pieces, but did you know that it's National Poetry Month? If you go to the library website, there's a link in the upper left-hand corner that'll take you to poets.com. These books are newer poetry books that we have, and a lot of them were too short for you to pick for prize speaking, but if you like poetry, these are some great ones. And almost all of them have a CD that reads all the poems out loud to you. Let's listen to part of one as we wrap up this episode.
In math, I was the whiz kid, keeper of oranges and apples. What you don't understand, master, my father said. The faster I answered, the faster they came. I could see one bud on the teacher's geranium, one clear bee sputtering at the wet pane.